What up, YouTube? Me again. Coming back with the Chevy Diaries, episode 3. Just made episode 2 yesterday. I wanted to talk about motivation and things of that nature. So I was kind of bummed out, yesterday when I made that video. Yesterday was the first day in a long time that I didn't sell anything. I had 0 sales all day. And I was pretty bummed. That's only happened to me twice. Yesterday was only the second time in a month that I've had a day with 0 sales. And so, like I told you guys, I tried to not check the Amazon seller app like all day long, but so this morning I checked it. It was 0 again, and I looked, overnight to see if anything sold, and nothing sold. And I was like, man. So I went in, did a little price adjustments on a few things, lowered it on some, actually raised it on another. I figured out a good way to just kind of see if there's something, that I'm not willing to take a loss on, then I just kind of leave it and go from there. But so this morning I went in and did some price adjustments, and I'm like, well, maybe that'll help, see where we're at. So I did that, and I checked. Now it's lunchtime. It's 12:30 in the afternoon here. The last time I checked my Amazon seller app, I still had 0 sales. So I was talking to my wife a couple minutes ago, and we were talking about stuff, and I said, all right. I got the phone with her. I said, well, it's lunchtime, let me check my seller app. So I opened it up, boom, 4 sales for a nice, actually significant amount of cash. I looked at it and I was like, whoa, man, what did I sell? I was all kinds of excited. So I went in just now, looked at the seller app, and it's funny, these products, that you think are never going to sell, or you're hesitant about them in the store. One of the things I sold was just this, and the funny part is I'm trying to remember the items that I sold just now, and I didn't adjust the prices on any of those items. It's funny, the ones that I sold today, I don't think I adjusted the price on any of those. Let me see, was that one? Nope. One of them just got checked in today. Today it got checked in, and that quick. Actually, a shipment that got checked in today sold a bunch of stuff. Like, probably wasn't even on there for like an hour, and it sold already. So that's awesome. It's just so funny. Now, one of the items I knew would sell fairly quickly, and that was a freaking ridiculous profit on that one. I paid like $2.99 for this item, brand new in the box, and I sold it for $92 just now. Crazy. So that was awesome. That was a super good find. I remember I took a picture when I found it in the store. I took a picture of the item and sent it to my wife, and I was like, check this out, I can get this for $2.99. Look what it's selling for. She was like, what? It'd be great to have that product all day long. That would be awesome. But it just goes to show you, about motivation. And it's funny, I was just watching a video right before I got on the phone with my wife about kind of like motivation and fears, and not freaking out when your product doesn't sell in the first couple days. Sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes a month, just depending on what the item is and the rank and the demand and all that stuff. But I've said this in video a long time ago. Again, I apologize for the shaking. I know it's annoying. But this thing actually, when I don't know if you guys can even see the shaking. I can see it on here when I'm recording it. But when I watched the other video last night while I was uploading it, I didn't see any shaking. Very, very minimal shaking. So anyway, I said in a video a long time ago motivation is what gets you started, but discipline is what makes you successful. Like, it's easy to read about the success of Amazon FBA from other people. It's easy to see all that and be like, yeah, I'm doing this. But when you actually have to go out and the rubber meets the road and you got to go to like 20 stores a week, you got to buy inventory, you got to bring it home, you got to go through it, you got to take the stickers off, you got to scan it all into Amazon, and you got to label it all, and you got to box it all up. That's where the discipline comes in, because doing that every week consistently, it burns you out a little bit. But it's days like this when I see that profit. And in the very beginning, I told my wife that my goal, at least for the first couple months, is to, at least at a bare minimum, my minimum goal was to make the credit card payment on one of our credit cards. And it's not like $100 payment, it's actually fairly high. But my goal was to at least make one credit card, at least that credit card payment, to see if it was worth it. So that way we didn't have to pay it out of our, paychecks. And, obviously last month I didn't get to do that because I started so late and everything. I didn't know what products to buy. But, as of today, not counting what just sold, like the stuff that I've already transferred, and I'm kind of grandfathered into an old Amazon policy. I don't think they have it anymore. But since I've had an Amazon seller account for like 5 or 6 years now, because I did like merchant fulfill back in the day just for some textbooks and stuff when I was going to school. I'm still grandfathered under the old system where I can request payments at any time. So I usually go in there like every 3 or 4 days and request money to be sent to my account because I want to build it up. And I always try to do it right before I'm shipping something. That way I don't lose the profits that are already in there. But as of today, I already have, so the payment is due on the 25th of the month. I already have enough in there right now to make that payment. Now, it's going to be awesome because now I can make more, which will bring the payment even lower, and so on and so forth. But that's just my minimum goal, is at least to make that payment. Because if I can at least sell enough to make that payment, then I know, then my wife, she feels like it's a profitable venture. Like, okay, so we're saving that much money a month. That doesn't have to come out of our paychecks. Now, of course, I'm not gonna, for an example, if the payment just say was $100, it wouldn't be worth it to spend $100 to get back $100. Like, that would just be stupid. You would just send the $100 to the credit card company. But in this case, it's well over that. Like, I've made well over that. So I'd like to make, then my next sales goal is to make double the credit card payment. That way, and I'm not going to make the minimum payment. Like, so on the day that this payment is due, I'm just going to send it all onto it, because that'll bring it down really significant. So I'm just going to dump it all on there, and I'm just going to keep dumping it all the profits I make every month, basically up until the 25th of the month, are always going to go for that card, until eventually, it comes all the way down. But I was really bummed today, before I saw any sales. I'm like, man, it starts to make you question everything. Like, man, what am I doing wrong? Do I need to lower my prices even more? But then I'm losing profit, and then it's not worth it, and and all that other stuff. So, but it's days like this when I log in and I see, that I sold 4 items today. So what's that, an average selling price of what? Say, let's see. That would be probably about $33 per item, right? Times 4, about 120, about 34, I guess that would be then, maybe about $34 an item, average selling price, $34 an item. Like, so a couple of the items I sold, like I said, one was 90, the other was like 10, one was 30, and then it was a book for like 5, which I won't really make anything on. But I I refuse some of the books I sent in. Honestly, all the books that just got checked in now are all from my house. I think there's one or two from going online and going out in places, but the majority of them were from my house. So, but I told myself I didn't send in like just every book that I had. But I told myself I was, because Amazon fees suck so bad, with those books. Like if you sell a book when you're FBA, you sell a book for $4, you lose money. So any book that was like, negligible, the minimum price I was going was $5, and I was not going under that at all. I don't care what rank it was or how many people were above me and all that. I'm like, I'm not, because I accidentally made that mistake once. I sold a book for like $2.99 FBA or something, and I wound up taking a loss, and that was in my first week or two. I was like, oh damn, that's stupid. Why? I'm never selling anything like that again. So I'm excited. I said yesterday, surprisingly, I didn't know UPS would be this fast. So I told you guys I live in Phoenix, and 3 of the items that I sent in a shipment were going to Phoenix. I sent them yesterday. I just got an email. They're already checked in today. I didn't expect them to get there till like Wednesday, maybe tomorrow. But they're already checked in. So I'm curious to see that. I told you 2 of the products were already, or 2 of the items. It was 3 items in the box. 2 of the 3 were of the same thing, and I wanted to see if how fast they sell, because they're like a little test product. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on that. But just stick with it, guys. I mean, my goal obviously would be I would love to do this full time. If I could just wake up in the morning at like 7 o'clock and not have to worry about driving to a company and doing all that crap, that's my goal. But baby steps, that's a good goal to have. That's more like a yearly goal. Like by this time next year, I want to be not working anymore for someone else. My short-term goal is to make that credit card payment every month, plus more, obviously. So I'm not going to say I hit my short-term goal yet, even though I have the payment covered right now. It's only 1 month. I want to make sure that I can at least do that consistently. Like every month, I don't even want to have to question whether or not I'm gonna hit that. So, and I'm excited to see, because if there's a couple products that I sent in, that'll get there, I'm excited to see if they sell. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, or share with me what keeps you motivated. What keeps you in the game? Is it the profits? Is it time with your kids? Is it not working for somebody else? Is it all of it? Just what do you guys do when you look at your sales page and it's like 0? How do you keep yourself motivated and wanting to do it more? So let me know in the comments. Thanks. You guys have a great day.